I got most of the outside done now. There's a few finishing touches. Got the door painted green like the wife wanted, and I still need to do the cement with the smaller rocks around on the other side where I got my retaining wall there for the part of the garden, flower bed part. But I went ahead and now I'm ready to start drywalling. I already got started, and I'll show you inside what I got. So I first started just putting up full pieces that I knew. So I went ahead and cut around the door, got that set up, and one of the biggest things that I found that was a difficulty was knowing after I put the drywall up where the backing boards are that I could tie into with the screws. And as you can see over here, where I thought I knew where they were, I just missed it completely. Finally hit one over here. So what I did was, prior to installing the wall, I'm marking up here so I know where the center of each of these boards are, so when I put the board up, I know where I can come down and hit in. Down here, when I'm putting these in, they're pretty much in line with each other, so as long as I put this one in, I'll be able to see here where it is and tie in. But it's coming along, and this wall, she is going to put up a textured wallpaper for her video stuff, and then everywhere else it's just going to be painted all white, and then I'm going to come back, and she said she wants me to use these 2x4s. I'll rip them down and just use that for molding and crown molding. And she thought, because the beams up here were just bare, she thought that would look pretty good with the white and then just the natural pine look. We may want to come back and put either a stain or a varnish on it to bring out some depth to the color, so it'll be maybe look a little more like this as opposed to this. You know, make it just a little deeper, look a little more appealing. But anyway, so I'm going to continue on hanging these drywalls and get this set up. This drywall is really great, this board, because I can just lightly score it along my cut line, and then it cracks, and it's a perfect line. So then I just come back with my knife and just cut the paper on the back, and it's done. So it's not a lot of heavy cutting, not like you're sitting there dulling your X-Acto blade or your your carpenter's knife. And anyway, so we're getting this set up, and I'll come back after I get it all done, and then we'll go on to the taping, pasting, and the sanding, and then finally on to painting. Alright, I think I definitely need to work on my drywalling skills. Hanging, it's really not that big of an issue. The biggest problem I have is because this thing is not plumb, because it's just made out of these pallets. It's hard to get everything nice and square and all that. But I have a little difficulty with the taping, especially in the corners. But what I've found is using this tape, the seam tape, once I get it started at the top, I'll measure down and I'll cut it at the bottom so that it's that length. And so what I've been doing, because this paste seems to be drying up really quick and then the tape doesn't stick, is I'll put a little bit of paste up there at the top, and then I'll put the tape on, and then I'll come back with paste over the top of that so that it is, then it sticks to it. So then I've been basically doing in like maybe 2 or 3 foot sections is I'll lift the tape up, put the paste on, come back over with paste. And so that's what I'm going to go ahead and do now here to get this finished up. I still have to cut the bottom, so I'll do one more thing before I cut. So I basically get a little bit of paste on there, and then I just slap it on there. So it's nice to spread across both sides. And then I get another reload to go over the top and just seal it over the top. What I've been doing is going down at like 45-degree angles on each side like this, and that way it helps push the paste down underneath and helps that get a little more paste on it and secured. So now I got that, I'm going to cut the length on the bottom. a problem with the paste drying up necessarily in the tray. It's just once I get it spread on the wall, because it's so thin, then that's where it seems like it wants to dry up pretty quick. But through trial and error, this is what I found seems to be working the best. I know just from looking at other people's drywall, theirs looks a lot neater. Then I've seen some that's been pretty bad too, so I say I'm definitely a novice, but I think what I'm doing is, you know, I mean, it's getting me by. I'll be able to definitely work with this, sand it down, put a couple more coats on, and make it look decent. One thing I was really good at auto body with Bondo, so this really isn't too much different. Just a matter of getting your lines nice and clean. So anyway, come back and do a sand on that, and then do a final sweep with the paste, fill in any gaps, any concave areas, and yeah, then we should be good. The corners I'm horrible with. I'm almost thinking about getting the, I've got this external corner piece for the one L dog leg portion in here. And so I'm almost thinking this could work just as well on the insides, because my tape was just, especially where there's a little more of a gap, it was just, it looked ridiculous, and I definitely wasn't happy with it. So I think I'll have to run to the hardware store and pick up some more of those corner pieces to get those done. And then, yeah, we'll get it sanded and then get ready for paint.